this is Mika, and I'm doing a follow-up video of why I did not want to move to Colorado. We have the video of why we did move to Colorado on my husband's page.
And that page is, don't know if you see it, 2 Live Life 4, number 2, Live Life, number 4. And we'll start with number 1. It's her channel, ladies first.
My channel. Once again, we did not show each other what we wrote down, so this is anonymous. Number 1, the cost of everything. The cost of everything here is absolutely expensive. It is expensive to live in Colorado. The rent, food, gas, everything just costs
Mortgage. We have a mortgage.
Mortgage.
Rent
whatever.
is still ridiculous.
Everything costs a lot of money here. So if you're going to move here, you're going to need a well-paying job.
Or at least a steady income. Most of the people around here are military, so they're on a fixed income. So you kind of really have to budget your check out. And in this location, the housing market is so stellar right now. It's hard to even get a house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could put in an offer and someone's already bought the house.
Yeah.
So I did have that as one of my reasons, but for number 1, I had water, and I come from a town that literally starts with water. And upstate New York. And we love water sports. At least I enjoy water sports. Grew up around water all my life anyway. Not the ocean, just a bunch of lakes in different areas. But it really sucks because if we want to do something and go on a huge lake or do water activities, we have to travel and not be in this area. Number 2?
My number 2 is going to be the weather. I am a Texas girl, so it snows here constantly. Then it's sunny, then it's snowing, and then it's hailing like this big. So make sure if you move here, you have hail insurance because the weather is crazy. Bipolar weather. Then it rains, and it doesn't rain. Then it sprinkles, and it's snowing.
Yeah, compared to New York, it's kind of like what it is, but with New York, its winters and summers are more extreme than here. The last winter here was not bad. It was like 60 in November, and in New York, it's like 30, if that. So, number 2, I also had it as a reason of why to live here, but it's location. Location is good, but with us being, she's from Texas, I'm from New York, and so if we want to travel, most likely we have to fly to see our families. So if we have a set amount of vacations each year, we're going to have to weigh out who we visit, when we visit. We can drive down to her family, but we can't really drive over to mine. So you kind of have to have a few days off in order to do anything. But that was my number 2, and so we're just going to go to number 3 now.
The number 3 reason I put down was homeless people. There's homeless people everywhere here. They have a whole tent city of just homeless people. So everywhere you go, there's somebody asking for money. And it's just like, come on. There's jobs everywhere here.
Mm-hmm.
And they sit there and they ask for money. But then you see them get into their little cliques and stuff and kind of like exchange things and stuff. But then you see some homeless people that are wearing nicer clothes than me. It's like, come on, really?
Sometimes they can't help it, but a lot of, like with the economy here, like in my video, I was discussing how the unemployment rate is less than 3% where we live. So it's kind of hard not to get a job. They even had a news thing where employers are having trouble hiring people because they're already getting jobs elsewhere. So they're getting a ton of applications, but like these people already got a job somewhere else because they got hired.
Yeah, and then they're like holding up signs saying, "Need money for weed. Need money because I want to go
least they're
here."
honest.
At least they're honest. So it's like, come on. Well, if you need money, I need money to travel too.
Well, I'll go on that. Number 3, I also had it as a reason to live in Colorado, but the reason not to live in Colorado is weed. If you're absolutely against it, don't come here. Like, that's just how it is. You're gonna see a lot of people who look like stoners. They have the long hair, long beards. They might be cool as hell, but you're just completely against weed. I'm not against weed. I don't. She has kind of mixed feelings about it, but I would just say, like, if you're one of those extreme people who don't want to be around that, it's everywhere around here legally, so it's more prevalent. And then, like, my fourth and fifth reason, take them with a grain of salt. I couldn't really come up with a fourth and fifth, but they're like minor. So we'll go with number 4.
My number 4 is crime. When we moved here, is that one of yours too?
No, but I didn't think of it.
When we moved here, I honestly thought it's Colorado. There's no crime. Everybody's happy. But no, there's like a murder every day. People are murdering kids. People are just murdering everybody. And I know that this is an issue that's all over the world. Everywhere you go, there's going to be crime. But they just do petty crimes. And there's not enough cops here to, you know, help everybody that are victims to these things. So,
like, we heard a set of gunshots the other night. And then, like, an hour and a half later, we heard another one where there was like 8 rounds that were fired off.
Hour and a half later.
And then, so I was like, all right, I'll listen to the scanner. And the, the dispatcher called one of the policemen, like, tried to send him over, and he said he had a traffic violator that he was dealing with. He said, well, it's going to be a few minutes. I said, well, hell, you don't got enough people to go over there, or that's not a main priority. They wanted to deal with a traffic violation versus a potential murder.
Mm-hmm. That's really bad here.
For number 4, changing topics, I went with the shopping. With us, it kind of works good because they have a lot of thrift shops. We live well below our means, so we love thrift shops. But if you're a person who likes malls and a lot of the name brand stores, from where we are, you have to travel at least like 35 miles, 40 miles, something like that. But that's kind of how Colorado is all their cities are spread out. So it's not just our city. We have our own malls, but they're not really great. So you'll have to either go to Denver or go to like an actual shopping town to find good shopping. Number 5?
Number 5, I put trashed areas. I feel like the people here, well, at least in this area that I'm in, they don't care about what they leave out. So it looks messy. It kind of looks ghetto, as they would say.
It's not a bad neighborhood.
It's not a bad neighborhood. They just make it look trashy. They leave all this stuff out on their patios or their porch. They just throw beer bottles wherever they want. And it's like, take pride in what you have. Don't just trash everything and make the whole neighborhood look bad. And that's one of the worst things about not having an HOA.
And number 5 for me, to follow up with her cost of living, that's what I had for number 5. You would think coming from New York to Colorado, things would be cheaper. And I wouldn't say it's much more to live here in the area that we are at, but it's definitely not cheaper. It's like rent is through the roof just because of like the unavailability of all this stuff. A lot of people can't get houses that have the money to do it. They can't, like, you have a friend that couldn't even get an apartment for like 2 or 3 months, and she had to live in a hotel for all that time. So that's a lot of money wasted.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's expensive for a lot of stuff. So, but that's all I got.
Yeah. The mortgage for a house is way less than what people are paying for way smaller with apartments here. So that's basically one of the reasons why we bought a house. We're just saving way more money than we would if we were in an apartment right now. So,
awesome.
That's all.
So she's definitely not as thrilled to live here as I am. But if you are interested in living in Colorado, check out my video on my page.
You have to go to the Broncos game.
Broncos game if you're a Broncos fan. Mile High Stadium, smoke weed every day.
Okay.
Please like and subscribe. Comment on her video. Ask her questions about Colorado. Recommend videos. She's very into makeup, fashion, Malachi, dogs in general. What else?
That's about all. Food. I love food.
And she's in the military. So if you're female, male, whatever you are, you're thinking about going in the military, or you want to know about her experience, ask, because we're trying to come up with some videos for her to do. She just wants to know from you what she should do.
The viewers.